Hello everybody and welcome to the Fancy Sip Review. Today on the Fancy Sip Review, I'm going to be trying another product made by the popular company Beak and Skiff out of Lafayette, New York. Beak and Skiff opened up in 1911 as an apple orchard in the central New York area. They opened up with the idea of having people come down to their place in Lafayette to pick apples, drink some tasty cider, and eat some donuts. But with how big the company got, they expanded to selling ciders. The ciders that they sell are sold all over the central New York area in grocery stores, as well as starting to sell alcoholic ciders under the company name 1911. After marijuana became legalized in New York, Beak and Skiff was one of the first companies to start selling THC products, both as flower as well as edibles and these tasty drinks. The Fancy Sipper has reviewed most of the products that Beak and Skiff and Ayrloom have came out with, and I thought as my most viewed video was the lemonade, I thought I would try the up version of the HoneyCrisp apple, which HoneyCrisp again is a type of apple which they've perfected at this point. But what is the difference between the Ayrloom Up and the regular Ayrloom? Well, originally when the Ayrloom products started coming up, they were only released as Ayrloom Lemonade or their seltzers, or later on the HoneyCrisp apple and the Vanilla Coke. But a lot of people I don't really think would want to actually buy a 5 milligram product. If you were to buy gummies, they're usually sold in 10 milligrams, unless you're buying the bottom shelf generic AFs. But as you would be able to buy gummies for cheaper that are twice as strong, they realized that they would have to start selling stronger product. And the Up is essentially double the THC of the original Ayrloom drinks. Now, these drinks are still only 10 milligrams of THC, so it's not the strongest thing in the world. And on average, these drinks do run at $5, whereas if you were to buy a 10-pack at $30, the cost of 10 milligrams of THC would only be $3. So you're essentially paying $2 extra for these Ayrloom drinks. But everything that I've had in the past by this product has been good, so I'm just going to try this. So let's learn what is in this drink. You are getting 10 milligrams of THC, as I said, with 5 milligrams of CBD in this whole can. That's what you're getting. This is a 12-ounce can. The ingredients in this are fresh cider, sorbate, cannabis extract, and ascorbic acid. The processing type is ethanol extraction and distillation. And again, with these THC snacks, they take about an hour to kick in. So if you have not had this before and you don't feel anything, don't just start drinking more or eating more. Probably won't be for the best. The nutrition facts in this are, in this 12-ounce can, you're getting 180 calories, 10 calories more than the lemonade, 5 milligrams of sodium, 45 grams of carbohydrates with 45 grams of sugar. That's everything here. So let's show off the can. The can itself is pretty cool. There is the can. It is a red can, reminding you that this is a cider or an apple-related product. The orange kind of looks cool, unless that's yellow. That is yellow. The yellow is pretty cool. It has a nice contrasting color. I don't really care for the flat art design, having this look like a Google picture from, I think Google still does that, honestly. If you go to Google every day, they change their design to art that kind of just looks like this. Flat art is pretty boring. Here is the nutrition facts. And here's all the warning stuff for this. So that is everything about Beak and Skiff. They are the best apple orchard in the central New York area and probably in New York State completely, as I can't really name any other ones. And all of these drinks have been pretty good. If I were to recommend before even drinking this, a THC beverage, I would probably go with Ayrloom. So I'm going to open this up right now and let you know how it tastes. Another thing that I want to bring up with Beak and Skiff as a company is every year around the summertime, they start having bands come and tour the apple orchard. And usually those bands are honestly musicians that I think are pretty good. They have a lot of elder emo bands coming in, as well as jam bands. And a lot of people come to Beak and Skiff just for the music, not even the apples and the now THC products. So this is what the beverage looks like. It is a apple-y looking color. It looks a bit yellowish. I don't really see anything floating in this. There is cannabis extract in this, but it's not very noticeable. Maybe if I was outside, I would see stuff. But the drink itself smells kind of weird in a way. On the nose, you can definitely smell that there is some sort of extract in this. It's not the same kind of smell that an alcoholic cider would have. It has a weird sweet type smell that, not to bash the company, is this is just a knock on cannabis extract. It kind of smells like feet. I don't know why that is. I bought this drink yesterday. It's not expired. Yeah, the cannabis extract blending with the HoneyCrisp apple does not give it the best of smell. But what is most important is the taste, and I'm going to give this a try right now. So on the mouthfeel of this product, there's no carbonation in this at all. This is a very sweet apple beverage, and although it does smell kind of odd, the taste is not affected by the smell, which is a good thing. The drink tastes like a very good sweet apple, and let me go back to the amount of sugar in this. You are getting 45 grams of sugar, and every gram of that sugar you can taste. It's a very good tasting beverage, and I'm not the biggest person when it comes to juices. If I were to drink a juice, I would probably drink like Suja or something like that, but this is a very good sweet tasting beverage that reminds me of being a child drinking Sunny Delight, Hawaiian Punch, and apple ciders, and this would probably go very well with a donut. When I review this, though, comparing this to the lemonade, I think the lemonade has a benefit where it's really hard for lemonade to not be your primary drink that you would want. With an apple cider, I don't really know many people that drink apple cider. I understand that Ayrloom as a company is in apple orchards, so it's obvious that these are going to be able to be the easiest to make and sell as they have a surplus of the apples, but I do think the lemonade does taste a little bit better. I don't think that their vanilla cola tasted that good. That just tasted like a Topps generic 99-cent vanilla cola with weed in it. But this does taste good. I'm not the biggest fan of juices. I do think that this is probably still the top of the line of the weed beverages, as the rest of them are just seltzers, and I don't know, seltzers are kind of overrated. Those are pretty much just sold for people in alcohol recovery to get over that. But this drink itself is pretty tasty. I'll give this one final sip and give my number score rating. Honestly, if you were to drink this out of a can and not really smell that specific, hard to explain smell, I think that this would be a better drink comparatively to drinking this out of a big 2006 era crunk glass. But I don't know. The drink itself is very good. It's a very sweet, plain type of an apple. You're not drinking a Granny Smith. You're not drinking a Jazz apple or any of those unique apples like the Cortland apple. It's just a generic sweetened apple cider drink with cannabis in it. But the main issue of when you're trying to sell this product is, could I justify spending $5 for 10 milligrams of THC when I can buy, again, the generic AFs, get 100 milligrams with no CBD, admittedly. This drink does have 5 milligrams of CBD in it, but it's the selling point of this is for people that are buying this as a treat as opposed to people that are just trying to get high. If I were to be drinking this out at a park or something like that, yeah, this is a very tasty beverage. The difference of drinking, let's say, an alcoholic cider in public at a park, which I'm pretty sure is completely illegal, but in New York, it's only a $30 ticket to have an open container. And at that point, I don't know, it doesn't seem like that big of a punishment. But again, the difference between this being legal to drink in public, I assume, and alcohol ciders, let's say you want to drink their 1911 in public, you would feel the effects of the 1911 cider and feel yourself getting drunk. With drinking this, you don't really know how you're going to feel. It takes about an hour to kick in, and usually they recommend to drink half of a serving, see how you feel, and then try it again in an hour, the second half, to not get overly high. But can you imagine sitting in a park for an hour with just like a open container of an THC-infused apple cider, hoping that bugs don't crawl in it, or just gets flat, and, well, it can't get flat because there's no carbonation, but it could get warm, and that could be a big issue. So just the idea of this drink doesn't really make any sense to me. As a taste, honestly, you could just buy the cider and probably just make your own. You could probably just buy Beak and Skiff cider and then just buy the Ayrloom tinctures and just pour that in and make your own drinks. But just as a unique product to try every once in a while, maybe it's summertime and you want to socialize with people but you don't want to drink, this is a pretty good product. I would still recommend the lemonade over the cider. I don't think I would recommend the vanilla Coke that well, but I will be giving this drink a 8.7 out of 10. It is tasty. There's no real faults to it. The only major fault being the cost of it. And I'm just not the biggest fan of apple cider. So what do you think of Ayrloom's products? Do you think that Ayrloom is the #1 THC product in New York State? Can't imagine most of my viewers are even in New York State, so they can't even buy it. It's federally illegal, and you can't buy New York State products outside New York State. But I have been the Fancy Sipper. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've learned a lot. If you ever plan on coming out to Central New York in the summer or the fall, make sure to check out Beak and Skiff's Apple Orchard. Maybe see Bright Eyes or whoever's coming up. Maybe the Get Up. I don't know. I don't know who's playing, but yeah, definitely check out Beak and Skiff. They make tasty products. Their apples are really good. It's a nice place to go on a date. It's a nice place to bring kids. And I've been the Fancy Sipper, and cheers. Clink.